Innovation is what differentiates a leader from those who follow him. Steve Jobs. In a small California parking garage, the spring of 1976, Steve Wozniak, Ronald Wayne, and Steve Jobs gathered to form Apple Computer Inc. Wozniak designed the first Apple device, which retailed at a value of approximately $2,700 USD. This was the Apple I, the first computer to mimic a typewriter's design. The initial mission behind the product's design was to construct a user-friendly device, which later translated to the mission of the overall company. In Apple Computer Inc.'s first year of sales, $773,000 USD were raked in by the young company that seemed to be destined for financial success. Nearly a decade after its launch, Apple released the Macintosh, a device set to revolutionize the personal computer industry, and which also experienced a profit increase by 25 times its annual value at its debut. 45 years later, the Apple brand identity has taken the world by storm with its nearly universally recognized self-cultivated platform. This self-cultivation can be accredited to the structure of the brand as a whole. One thing to note is the use of the Apple logo on all its devices and a similar physical build to each device that allows it to be recognized as the brand's own. This, however, is not the only commonality among the devices. Aside from the use of the lowercase I at the beginning of the names of its baseline applications, Apple-specific applications, meaning software features that are either only compatible with or function at optimum quality with Apple hardware, have created an air of exclusivity around Apple devices because only those who possess them can utilize these tools. While creating technology meant to be used by all, Apple strives to create products that are wanted by all as well, playing on human ethos and the desire for inclusivity. In essence, the products of Apple as per the brand architecture directly or indirectly promote the parent brand Apple. Brand equity of Apple gives it an advantage of catering to various customer segments. It has created a brand architecture accordingly so that all its products are distinguished from the rest of those competing within its same market. This can even be narrowed down to the stigma directed towards green text messages in the iMessage platform. That feature distinguishes all Apple users from the other created by the Apple company to make those who do not possess Apple products to feel separate or outside. Despite the turbulent changes over the past decade in Apple, the company's brand value has increased, reaching $352 billion in 2020, due to an increased focus on customer satisfaction and improvements and developments in software configuration. Within the same year, Apple managed to secure the second place in a ranking list for the most valuable brands worldwide, coming second to Amazon and ahead of Google and Microsoft. The one device that drives Apple's sales revenue is the iPhone itself, and that is only a fraction of its $260 billion sales revenue globally in 2019. The popularity of the iPhone isn't all that there is to thank for Apple's success in sales. Apple's distribution strategy is increasing retail stores in all major regions. And so accessibility is also a key factor in Apple's success as a brand. As a company, at any given second, Apple has $207 billion cash on hand. Apple was also notably the first company to reach $1 trillion in its worth. This feat does not only speak to Apple's success as a brand, but also to Apple's success in strategy and structuring. Apple's mission is to bring the best user experience to its customers through its innovative hardware, software, and services. In a manifesto dated in 2009, Tim Cook set the vision specified as "We believe that we are on the face of the earth to make great products, and that's not changing." Such a statement maintains that the best user experience coincides with innovative hardware and software. Apple's goal is to make great products. In an annual report for Apple, segmenting the most important elements of its mission statement, best user experience, focus on the average person, innovative hardware, and innovative software and services are the four main points. Branching underneath this is Apple's privacy promise. Good security is an aspect of quality, and so along with Apple's quality promise with software and hardware, Privacy and protecting the data stored on these devices is important as well. Something established over time more so than something promised by the company and believed by its audience. The vision statement of Apple sets the stage for the company's core beliefs. These core beliefs are not something that change year by year, but instead they follow the company throughout its entire life cycle. The key points of this vision statement are to make great products, focus on innovation, to have simplicity in place of complexity, to control the primary technologies behind Apple's products, to focus on few key projects, and to have excellence as the set standard. Consistency in these departments affords the company validity. Consumers can trust that Apple products will function a certain way each time, and that their services will also function a certain way each time. Apple's social media presence keeps them relevant with the changes in pop culture and social culture and allows its consumers to interact with them on platforms that they also use regularly on their Apple devices. An example of this is Apple posting regularly, daily, on its Instagram page. This is a form of interacting with their clientele, a key component to their relationship with the public. Apple is notorious for keeping secrets. The secrets I'm referring to are product releases that usually occur annually. An example of this is the announcement of the iPhone 12 in 2020. Invitations for the Apple 2020 announcement for the iPhone 12 only went out a week before. This tactic plays again on human ethos, as human curiosity is piqued. The stir around these announcements continuously makes Apple a hot topic of discussion. Within the first 4 seconds of coming into contact with a new product, consumers form an opinion. This brief moment is all the company gets to really set the standard for what to expect. For Apple, packaging is key, and one of the key features of their brand. Brand identity refers to the visual elements of a brand. Another nod to this is a sort of uniformity among all Apple products. The signature Apple bitten logo and the range of colors that you can select for each device is limited, but still affords some options. Nonetheless, it makes Apple products easily recognizable because of this uniformity. The Apple bitten logo that we know today debuted in 1977. With slight changes in color and style, this Apple bitten logo has somewhat maintained the same throughout the years. This Apple logo can be found on most Apple devices, excluding auxiliary ones such as headphones and wires. Those devices maintain a white shade and are meant to pair with the other Apple devices. In 1981, a journalist asked Steve Jobs why he named the company Apple. Steve's answer was, "I love apples and like to eat them, but the main idea behind Apple is to bring simplicity to the public in the most sophisticated way possible, and that's it, nothing else." Apple's first logo included a photo of Sir Isaac Newton. That logo only lasted for a year, and then in 1977 is when the new one had been introduced. This logo was designed by Rob Janoff, and it included a rainbow spectrum on the bitten apple. The colorful logo was a nod to Apple being the world's first computer with a color display. The story behind the bite in the apple on the logo is so that people will not confuse the apple for a cherry tomato. The colorful logo only lasted from 1977 to 1998, and then after that, Apple followed a design of more muted tones and colors for their Apple bitten logo. Because of Apple's stores globally, this has made the use of the apple something that can be universally recognized and understood by varying cultures. This is something that adds to the universality of Apple products. When it comes to brand positioning, Apple's strategy is a corporate branding strategy that revolves around its emotional experience with its products. Apple's appeal to ethos is consistent. This is what can qualify it as an emotional brand. This is solidified by its humanistic corporate culture, its unique visual and verbal vocabulary, and the way the brand communicates with consumers. There is a sense of accessibility attached to owning multiple Apple products. The more you own, the more you are able to use Apple's features across all platforms. This is why there is a sense of community among Apple consumers. Though smart devices are common in the world, Apple devices have specific functions that are not seen in any other product. However comparable, Apple maintains its nature as one of a kind, in constant competition, but still maintaining that element of exclusivity. Many of Apple's primary competitors are primarily manufacturers of computers. Dell Technologies is a manufacturer of both desktop and mobile computing devices and one of Apple's primary competitors. The rivalry between these two companies dates back decades, with Dell even attempting to corner some of Apple's share of the mobile music player market with its service Dell DJ. The stark difference stands: Dell does not offer a smartphone. Lenovo Group is another computer manufacturer that is also in competition with Apple. This Chinese company offers consumers personal computers as well as mobile phones and other electronics. In this way, Lenovo competes with Apple and their other product lines, a way that Dell cannot with its limited product line. A more popularized competitor with Apple is Samsung. This competition is noted in social media by consumers, the common iPhone versus the Android debate. Camera quality, the green text message boxes, and access to Apple Music are just a few of the things that consumers and users of both sides debate. For this competition, it's who has the better smartphone. And the conclusion is that one device succeeds where the other fails, in only certain areas. But this aspect of the competition is solely based on public opinion. Statistics tell us is that Samsung is positioned as one of the largest smartphone companies, accounting for 21.2% of the global market. In the same segment, Apple is in third place with 13% of the share. The Samsung Galaxy and Note series have been responsible for the reduction in iPhone sales for many years. In 2019, Samsung reported $197.7 billion in revenues, while Apple reported $260 billion. They're always neck and neck. Another major Apple competitor is Sony Corporation. Sony personal computers are incredibly popular in many markets around the world. Sales of its computer products have helped to launch Sony into the top ranks of electronics. This competition has pushed Sony to offer an array of electronics in its line, from personal computers to video game consoles. This sort of competition among these major tech companies inspires these companies to advance and develop their products on a yearly basis. The race is to be multifaceted, to deliver what the next company cannot. Considering the current oversaturation and overpopulation of the electronic marketplace, Apple truly stands out. Its success ringing loud, as it has revolutionized the electronic industry. Apple sets out to offer an experience along with its devices. And this experience has sort of cultivated a culture for Apple product consumers. Apple as a firm ensures that they offer aspirational qualities which their devices are supposed to be offering their users. The company says that a device is supposed to have more than just a collection of features, but this is precisely what a smartphone is. People can sit and make jokes about the aesthetics and design regarding the product of the company. They all trolled the product designer on Twitter by saying he was locked in a white room for several years. Says Payne in analysis of the company's product design. Though simple, this does allow with Apple's mission to simplicity. It might not be their aesthetics, but Apple's most notable feature is their security. In the SWOT analysis here, we have strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats held parallel to each other and weighed. Apple's strength resides in its dependability and quality. The brand is recognized globally. This is a demonstration of their success in marketing techniques and strategy. Living up to their brand and product promises has granted them legitimacy and validity within the market. The loss of its pioneer has certainly been of great disservice to the innovative brand. Even so, Apple has managed to stay afloat and maintain success. Another weakness is that the company is also entering into areas where they significantly lack competency. Things like streaming services, credit cards, gaming services as well, have proven to be quite experimental for Apple. Despite this, the company has consistent customer growth, and with effective marketing of their products, they can significantly increase the growth of customers as well. As the company also lacks in green technology, they now have the opportunity to invest in sustainable technology in the future, making it an eco-friendly organization. Their main threat is being dependent on outside manufacturing. For example, manufacturing in China can put strains on the company in events such as global pandemics. Apple's demographic is made up of those with a medium to high income, the upper and middle class. The buyers of the iPhone, MacBook Air, MacBook Pro, and Apple TV are typically those between the ages of 18 and 34. Between the ages of 5 to 55 are the predominant users of the iPad. And the highest percentage of Apple Watch users range between the ages of 22 to 44. This is representative of what's popular for each age group at that time that Apple caters to. The brand equity is to be noted as well because it is difficult to separate a company from a brand. An example of this is Apple the brand being indivisible from Apple the company. This somehow shows Apple as self-operable and completely responsible for the company's successes and failures, as its branding, marketing, and production is all singular. Apple targets the middle to upper class because they have the means necessary to pay for the higher-priced Apple products, a demographic willing to pay just a little bit more for quality. It has been statistically shown that most Apple users are pretty well off financially, with 1/3 of Apple users being those that earn up to $100,000 USD annually. Therefore, Apple's target customer is certainly preserved and close to standard to high payroll individuals. Apple is out of the box, innovative, and unique. In its uniqueness, it causes users to also feel unique. And a sense of elitism is shared among those customers. Apple's customer service is good quality because of its consideration for all aspects of the customer experience. Because of its reliability, Apple is certainly a company and brand that can be recommended to others with complete trust. Those who do not use Apple might think that it's a famous luxury brand only meant for those who can afford it, when Apple is actually designed for all, though it can only be used by some. Because of the high prices of Apple products, a lot of people avoid purchasing them and stick to other lower priced brands. An issue attached to this is the belief that year after year, individuals will have to continuously buy and renew their Apple products in order to stay current and avoid the use of obsolete devices. Apple Inc. is a global leader in technology and customer services. They consider their customers to be king and stay faithful to their promises to make sure that customers are satisfied with their products. Because of this, Apple is reliable even where they fall short. And even though Apple products are similar to other brands, Apple keeps its value higher because of greater demand, premium price, and loyalty of customers. In the technological industry, Apple maintains its topmost position due to these attributes. Through their consistent endeavors, adapting to the changes where necessary, and staying current with the times, Apple can attain to paramount heights. The way they have structured Apple as a brand has allowed it to function in this way. Experiencing successes that were carefully calculated and considered.